Good morning, afternoon and evening all, this is Yorkie, I hope you're doing well. Today we have a multiplayer race around Suzuka. It's the usual 5-lap sprint race, and it was from an evening where I basically returned to playing F1 after a few weeks off. I haven't played it in a while, I've been too busy either working, making videos for F1 2013 and the like, or playing other games such as League of Legends, DayZ, Arma 2, Battlefield 3, Kerbal Space Program. Just quite a nice list of other games that I just have been playing instead of F1. So, like I said, this is a return to the race. I had quite a few races on that evening. This is one of them. And we're just going to cut straight to the track. So here we are on the grid then. As you probably would have seen on the pit monitor on top of my car, I'm starting in 10th position. There is a total of 16 cars on this grid, so we have a full lobby. And we're on one of the worst first corners for online races. Yay! Okay, so the 5 lights. And we're away. You get a relatively decent start, at least better than that Mercedes to the left of us. We're going to use a little bit of curves as we accelerate up now. We're going to go quite aggressive into this first turn, and immediately we're up into 7th. I'm going to back out a little bit there. The McLaren came and kind of shut the door, but we're now up into 5th. Having to lift off again with this Mercedes being quite slow in front of us. Just taking a smooth line, and all of a sudden I get punted up the rear. Someone tried to dive down my inside in a gap that virtually wasn't there. So trying to regain to the track as I see a Mercedes spin right across the front of my nose, and he actually joins back out in front of me. There's a Ferrari with hard tyres on one. How has he got hard tyres on a sprint lap? That's a weird one, but that doesn't really matter as the Mercedes and that Ferrari have made contact and gone wide. So I'm now back up into B11. There's a carnage first sector. Running a little bit wide there. There's another car off to the side there, off in the grass, in the barrier. So we're chasing this Lotus of Chaz 44, getting a nice run into this hairpin. He's gone a little bit too deep, so I sneak up this inside. Nice and smooth. I did leave him a little bit of room on the outside just in case he was relatively quick out of that hairpin, but it looked like he went in a little bit too deep and couldn't quite get back on the power early enough to challenge the position. So we've just had a Toro Rosso spin off in front of us. That's now put us back up into P8. And oh god, it's just a slow recovery drive back up through the field. Coming into 130, I completely flat out dipping the wheel onto the grass ever so slightly there, which isn't ideal. But getting a good run through this final chicane. Coming out onto that last corner, getting that traction down, using the last little bit of curves before the end of the lap and picking up a slipstream of the McLaren up ahead. And there we go, massive FPS lag. That's put me right back up into the firing range of Chaz. He's literally right behind me, and I've gone wide and I've been slowed down, but I'm going to leave him room on the inside just in case he wants to come up there. But he doesn't, he thinks better of it, but still get a little bit of a tap from behind, and I think he just ended up spinning because of that. But in all that, I managed to gain a place. We're going up into P7 because the McLaren that was up ahead had spun. I'm guessing he made contact with the car up ahead and put him off into the wall at the exit of the second corner. So P7 it is now, and we're chasing down readme.txt, who is, I think that was a Marussia. I'm pretty sure that was a Marussia up ahead. I'll use a nice chunk of my curves coming out of that hairpin. Get myself up to speed as soon as possible. Yeah, that looks like a Marussia to me. So, chasing him down. Williams. Catching him relatively quickly. It's not too bad. The cars up ahead are quite far up ahead. So, once I do get past him, I need to be quick, but he's come really slow out at 130. I'm guessing he lifted and I've actually got to manage to lock up. He's locked up too, he's gone straight on. So, he went straight across the chicane, cut that. I managed to just about make the chicane after the lock up on the outside tyre. And that's my fastest lap of the race is 140.579, which is at the moment 4 0.3 seconds off the pace, which isn't good, but then again it did have a huge lag spike right down the middle of all that start finish straight, which did last a good couple of seconds, and he's very slow coming through this final part of the S's in the sector 1, and I was thinking of trying to get the undercut on him through this corner here that we're just coming out of now, but because he was that slow I couldn't quite make it work, and I get another FPS lag as I get right up onto his bumper, and I actually did manage to back out to avoid making contact there, but lost even more time now, so now I've got to catch that back up. Getting the hairpin quite nicely again, using that rear brake bias, sorry, to prevent the front wheels from locking up. And if you haven't seen the in-depth track guide, make sure to go check that out, as you'll see, or I explain why I use the rear brake bias. It's going wide into the gravel, there's been dirt all over my tyres, which isn't good. I think this is a problem of not playing the game for so long. You come back and whilst yeah you got all the track knowledge and the same sort of skill that you've got, you're not quite in the same sort of groove, so you end up making more silly little mistakes and all that sort of thing. Like this race here, I didn't feel entirely comfortable for the first sector. I felt like my setup was all wrong. I didn't feel like I had the grip that I should have had, but I think it was more of an issue of me not taking the corners too quickly. Like that line there, it's not great. And actually we've got another Marussia up ahead who's actually just joined us. I'm guessing he's made a mistake in the first couple of corners. So you can probably see what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to set myself up for this undercut. Again, getting really close, really early, but even still I managed to make it work just about. I managed to get that crossover point quite nicely. I'm now up on his inside, but I'm going to be on the outside for this very fast right hand turn. I'm going to go round the outside of him. I've managed to pull that move off. The Marussia up ahead's gone off the track, and as he rejoined, tried to avoid him, but ended up hitting him, and actually ended up pretty much stopping dead, which was really odd. Usually you'd hit the car up ahead and they'll kind of bounce off, but it stopped me dead. And there, Cuba, it was actually the Marussia who did run wide, actually disconnected there. So I'm now up into 5th, but I'm missing part of my wing due to that unfortunate incident. Would have been a very nice move as well, going around the outside of him. I think he backed out and let me have it, but obviously with Cuba running wide into the gravel, there's very little time for me to react to that, and as you saw, I didn't really react to it quick enough and ended up hitting him as he rejoined the track. That final chicane there, getting a horrible look up. There's small mistakes like that just stop me from going quickly. So I'm at 140.1 at the moment, and 9.5 seconds up behind third place. And this is what I'm talking about with the not feeling comfortable through the first sector. I'm having to lift out there quite heavily. Same with this corner, and then this right-hander isn't too bad. And then that's the bump there that I was talking about in the in-depth track guide that you can use to your advantage to open up this corner right here. Like I said, if you haven't seen that video, make sure to go check it out. So quickly glaze over about that bump in that. And yeah, once again another silly mistake, just accelerating too hard out on the curve. It's just sent me off track into the wall on the inside there, right hand side of the track, making me lose another piece of my front wing. So it is literally just the bottom part, the flat plane. That's not really flat because it is curved, but the flat plane of the front wing. There's no little winglets. Doubt there's any end plates on there. There's actually some debris on the track back there on that exit, that corner. And if you actually look at the mirror map, there's the car, I believe third place, is looking rather. Yeah, he's a lot closer than the 9-10 seconds that he was before. So coming into this final chicane, once again locking up. And I just go straight on across the chicane. I don't even bother trying to make the apex. It wasn't going to work, but you got to make sure you do it nice and slow, otherwise you will end up disqualifying yourself. And that there is the final result. So I got 4th place with a 140.1, which was a good 4.5 seconds off Al-Samahan, who finished 1st. So not a great return, but nonetheless I kind of had fun that evening. There were some good races, I got some good footage, which I should be hopefully showing you guys soon. So thank you very much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a rating. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more F1 content in the future. Hope to see you soon, guys. Take care.